Vanguard, page 5. Tinubu, some African leaders bid Buhari farewell.
Yes, it was quite an emotional thing to watch yesterday. Some of us stayed glued to the television for the larger part of the day. We were watching the proceedings. Okay, so this is what I can report about my views about what took place. The first thing I'd like to say is that because of the timing, because they just had a day or so to plan a funeral which was going to now take place in Buhari's house. So I hope that people will appreciate the enormity of that kind of, the enormity of that kind of funeral of a past president. The arrangement itself had so many flaws, but understandably. First of all, let me thank the president on our behalf. He conducted himself extremely well. In fact, it was a very emotional situation for him. You could see, well, the little you could see, because of course even the coverage was staggered because the arrangement was not properly done. But one will understand that with the timing. So we thank the president. He did well. He represented us well at the funeral, and my condolences to the family and also to him, because apparently Buhari, of course, was his, apart from being a former president, was his friend, kind of an associate. So he conducted himself well. However, it brings us to a point where we now must have some kind of protocol for situations like this, so that our representation to the world doesn't look as if we're a pack of unorganized people. Because even if you look at the coverage yesterday, at some point the anchor guy was right there on the field as he was talking. A security man dragged him away from the front of the cameras, and that wasn't too good. So here is what I think we should do. We need to set up very quickly a kind of protocol that takes care of things like this. If the former president or whoever it is a Christian, it's easier because you have enough time to, get yourselves organized and in an orderly manner. But if he's a Muslim, in which case there'll be the desire to bury him in 24 or 48 hours. Remember, if Buhari had died in Daura, he would have been buried that same day or the next day. Mm-hmm. What I think we should consider, I'm not saying we should do outright, is let the interment be a private family affair. Okay, let it be a private family affair. Then you can arrange either the 3rd or 7th day fidel prayer or whatever it is, and then have a grand farewell for the president. Indeed, if we were going to, well, for want of a better thought, to copy the American system that we seem to want to follow, the interment is usually private. There'll be the state function, and then the interment will be private, so that we can have some kind of control and a well-organized farewell. I was surprised one Sunday. I picked up the Sunday Times in the UK, one of the times I was back there, and there I was. The paper had about 8 pages of what would happen should the king or queen die. In fact, it was said that even sometimes they could have rehearsals because everything must be top notch. The representation to the world must be top notch. So I think my view is that we should have some kind of protocol that takes care of this. But once again, I'd like to state very clearly that both the president and his wife conducted themselves in a very manner that you'll be proud of, and that needs to be mentioned given the circumstance. A little hint though, I think the president should know that this kind of things next time, he should come along with his wife, because the president's wife arrived in I think another aircraft, and he arrived in another aircraft. They're a first family. That's why you have first lady. And it's a function, given the closeness to the Buharis, that I believe that my belief is that it would have been better if they arrived together and they were there together. Of course, when it gets to the event proper, it can split because I think women were in a section, men. But it would have been nice if they arrived together. And but the president arrived with his son, which is okay. I mean, it's all right. And so that's how. Those were my views about how it happened. The newspaper gives a full account about what happened, but I think a video, just go to YouTube or whatever, and you'll probably get a feel of what actually took place. We are told here that some African leaders were also, I think that one or two were also there, and there were representations of some other African countries, which is another reason. I'm sure that if there was going to be a real formal ceremony, more people would have wanted to come to pay their last respects. Right. So it's a thing I think we should consider. I think we should think about that, so that we have. Also, we would need protocol for sitting president, like when it happened to Yaradua. When it happened to Yaradua, we would also need. Our condolences go again to the vice president, who was apparently emotionally traumatized. You could see a bit of that in him. And so yesterday was a day of sober reflection. Security was impossible. That's another thing that frightened me. I kept hoping and praying that there will be no unfortunate incidents, because yes, we were all unprepared for this, but all's well that ends well in the interim. So we'll see. May the soul of Muhammadu Buhari rest in perfect peace.
Amen to that. I've got this comment here on YouTube, and the person agrees completely with what you have said. The person says there must be. His name is Segzi. Says Segzi as in SERGZI. Yes. He said there must be protocol for everything.
Yes, there should be.
The government must operate top notch with everybody handling things. The whole world is watching. Other countries have these protocol. Yeah. So I completely agree that I mean, if we don't have now, then this is the time that to put that in place.
Yes.
Because I mean, who knows? Who knows?